Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am very excited to show you guys this product that I'll be reviewing today. So the foundation that I have picked up is the Covergirl Trublend Matte Made Foundation. I have been wanting to try this foundation for a very long time, and it was the hardest time trying to find it. I went to CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, my normal drugstores that I usually go to, and either they didn't have the foundation at all, or they only had like the medium shades and down, and even then they only had a few selection of those, so it was very hard to find it. And then one day I was just walking through Walmart, and then I was like, oh wait, they might have it. So I go to one Walmart and I'm like, oh my gosh, they actually have the foundation. They had the foundation, but they didn't have the shade that I was looking for. All the darker shades were sold out. So I went to another Walmart, they didn't have it at all. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna find this foundation. And then I went into a Walmart that I never ever go into, and they happen to have every single shade. So let's get into the claims that this foundation makes. So I did purchase this at Walmart for $10. That's actually a pretty good price for Walmart, you know, foundation prices and things like that. So the claims that it says is that it wears for about 12 hours. It's pore minimizing, transfer resistant, and also it is an oil-free product. And it's also, you know, it's matte made. So I'm assuming it's going to have a matte finish as well. I have not seen any reviews on this at all whatsoever. The one thing that I do know is that this foundation is in 40 shades. So that is definitely good for CoverGirl. I don't think CoverGirl has ever had a big of a shade range before. So I am getting ready for work. So this is gonna be a real true wear test, because I'm gonna be in between the elements, also inside in the super extreme cold, things like that. So definitely going to get a decent wear test. So let's go ahead and start applying. Well, first initial thoughts is that the smell of the foundation is very similar to the CoverGirl Vitalist foundation. The CoverGirl Vitalist had a stronger florally scent, which I didn't mind. But I know for people who are not really into heavily scented foundations, this is a good thing for them, just because, you know, scented foundations can be a struggle for some people. Okay, so far I'm really liking this color right here. This seems like a pretty good match for me. Actually, a really good match. It's not too red. It's not too like orangey or too light or anything, so definitely good job, because usually I have a hard time finding a good shade match. Okay, so this is the foundation on with about 2 pumps on. So it is looking very like sheer to medium coverage so far, more so on the medium side. So I'm just gonna try to build this up. Okay, so now that I'm done building it up as much as I can say this so far is that this foundation is definitely not a full coverage foundation, which is fine with me, just because I like my foundations to be more on the medium to buildable side to begin with. And I'm actually surprised that this is not a full coverage foundation, just because a lot of foundations that claim to be matte, you know, are usually very full coverage, because that's, you know, what everybody's wanting is super full coverage. So what I am going to do is I'm going to put on the rest of my makeup, and I will come back at the end of the day and give you guys an update on how I feel about this foundation. Okay guys, so I am back after a very long day of work, of wearing this foundation. So I put this foundation on at about 9 o'clock this morning, and it is now pretty much close to 9 o'clock at night. So I've had this foundation on for about 10, 11, 12 hours, something around there. But basically, I have a lot to say about this foundation. I'm actually pleasantly surprised, and I'll tell you why. So let's talk about the claims that this foundation has made. So the first claim that it makes is that it's a 12-hour comfort matte. So it's claiming that it'll stay at this comfort matte finish for up to 12 hours. And I definitely agree with that. So the reason why you see that my face is kind of like like, you know, a little bit glowy, having a little bit of a natural feel to it, is because where I work with a lot of steam and things like that, and steam is kind of like blowing in my face pretty much almost all day. So that is why the foundation has this kind of finish, this more so a dewy finish, because of my work environment. If I didn't work where I worked, or if this foundation didn't have that claim or those claims to hold up against, you know, oil controlling and things like that, and that's another one of the claims, is that it claims to be more oil controlling. If it wasn't oil controlling, then I'll be a hot greasy mess right now. So I definitely agree that this foundation is will last up to 12 hours, but it's also going to control oil as well, and I really appreciate that. Now, as far as the other two claims go, such as it says that it's pore minimizing, I did see a little bit of a blur in my pores. I didn't completely look airbrush, but definitely I didn't see like my pores completely blurred, but that's just me. You might have a difference of opinion. Now, as far as the transfer resisting, I would say that this foundation is pretty good at resisting transfer. Now, like I said earlier in the video, this foundation comes in a whopping 40 shades, and I have the shade in D70, and this is pretty much one of the only drugstore foundations where I felt like this was a pretty much perfect exact match for my skin tone. For me, it's really challenging, not necessarily challenging, but to find like an exact shade for my skin tone, because I have a little bit of golden yellow here, I'm a little bit neutral here, I have like this tiny bit of redness, which is actually some warmth, like I'm very warm yellow, like neutral yellow undertones, and if anything is too red, it's definitely gonna look too red, and if something is too deep for me, it's definitely gonna look too deep, and of course something that has the right undertone but is too light is definitely going to look too light on me. So just finding that perfect balance of golden yellow, warm, tiny bit of red, kind of neutral at the same time, it's just like really, you know, it's really hard to find the exact perfect match, just because I have tried the Covergirl Vitalist Elixir in the past, and that color was okay. It was a little bit off, but it wasn't too bad. And then, but the other Covergirl foundation that I've tried, like way back in the day, that was the Covergirl Trublend, True Match or something like that. All of those shades were pretty much super pink, and the undertone was really off and like gray. I wouldn't recommend trying that foundation. I don't even know if they sell that foundation, but regardless, they have this new one and they really done a good job with it. It's a nice matte foundation that is not full coverage. I wouldn't say I'm tired, but I'm just kind of over, you know, having all of these matte foundations come out, and they're all just, okay, well, buildable to full coverage, and most of them are just completely full coverage. And I feel like we're getting into the stage, or I hope we're getting to the stage, where people are wearing more so like medium to sheer coverage, because I don't hear a lot of people on YouTube and things like that talking about more medium coverage to sheer type of foundations, just because that's not what people want. But you know, that I'm the type of person, that's what I look for when I'm looking for foundations or tint and moisturizer or things like that. I definitely recommend it for anybody who is having trouble finding their exact shade in a nice, you know, natural, comfortable, matte looking foundation, somebody who has oily skin. But yeah, if you guys liked this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you aren't subscribed, and hit that notification bell if you haven't already. It lets you know when I upload my videos. I typically upload 2 to 3 times a week. But yeah guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys later in another video.